My name is Oliver Queen. For 5 years, I was stranded on an island with only one goal: survive.
Oliver Queen is alive.
Now I will fulfill my father's dying wish to use the list of names he left me and bring down those who are poisoning my city. To do this, I must become someone else. I must become something else. Previously on...
Yes. Don't worry. The man's as good as...
Guillermo Barrera, you have failed this city.
You built quite the reputation.
And you should have stayed overseas.
I thought about it, but then I remembered. I've got a reputation too.
Hey, what's up, you guys? I'm probably going to get copyrighted for that. I hope I don't. I hope I don't get a copyright strike, but I probably will because of the music, the intro. You can hear Stephen Amell's voice talking, but I just wanted to do something cool, something different in my video, and that was it. So I'm probably going to get a copyright strike, but if I do, then I'll just re-edit this video and cut that part out in the beginning, or I'll just redo the video altogether. So I'll have to decide what I'm going to do about that. I know it was a dumb idea, but I haven't really talked about Arrow that much on my channel. The last Arrow figure I reviewed was years ago. It was the Arrow 2-pack with the Flash, which I'm going to break that out later. But yeah, Arrow really changed things for me. He changed things for me in a big way. Just the first couple of seasons of Arrow was just phenomenal. It's the best thing on television, you know. That his intro that I recorded at the beginning is just so good. It's so, I mean, to me, it's like legendary. For 5 years, I was on an island. Only one goal: survive. Now I return to my city. And then, you know, when he say to his enemies before he kills them, "You have failed this city." It's like, it's just so good. It's so good. A lot of people have different opinions on Arrow. They felt like he was too much like Batman. And I can understand that. I could see that. They even used Batman villains. But, I mean, it's the DC world. So, I mean, what are you going to do? And he was broody, he wasn't funny, you know, things like that. Because comic book Oliver Queen is way different from Stephen Amell's version of Oliver Queen. But you know what? I've never been that much of a Green Arrow fan. I'm sorry, but I never really was. His beard is stupid. I mean, the comic book version. His beard is ridiculous. His outfit is kind of ridiculous. I just never been a fan. But once Arrow came out, I became a fan. So I rambled on long enough. So let's get into this review. Let's take a closer look at Arrow. So you've got the box here. It says Arrow. DC Collectibles at the bottom. Legalities, warning, blah, 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 blah. You got Arrow on the side here. You have Arrow on this side as well. You can see Stephen Amell right there. And you got Arrow at the bottom. Number 4 in the collector's edition, DC Collectibles. The CW. DC Comics, sculpted by, oh, I can't pronounce that name, but y'all can see it, Gentle Giant Studios. You got Oliver Queen with the totem and all of this. I do have this Oliver Queen, but I don't have this part. I do want Sarah Lance. I want to get her next as the Black Canary. I do have this Deathstroke. I'm going to break him out. And here's Arrow, the figure himself. And I'm going to get a look there. You see Arrow at the top. Like I said, you see Arrow on the side here. And one more time, you get a good look at Stephen Amell. And in his glory. And you got the top of the box. It says Arrow. Yeah, we did the box. CW. Yeah, bottom of the box. Legalities. Boring. Nobody cares about that. So, we're going to crack this figure open, get him out of the packaging, and we are going to take a closer look at Stephen Amell's Arrow. Yes, indeed. Doggone it. All right, so we got Stephen Amell's Arrow out of packaging. And this little background here is what came in the box. So, it's included with the figure. Bump my camera, guys. Sorry about that. But yeah, that background is included with all the DC Collectibles Arrow figures. So I got mine brand new off eBay, and he looks great. He looks real good. So let's take a closer look at Arrow. And so we take a closer look at Stephen Amell's Arrow. And he looks great. He looks fantastic. I love this design. I love this suit design. I love the head sculpt. Looks really good. The face sculpt, the beard. There's actually two versions of this figure, like it is in the TV show. One version is he comes with the grease paint on his face instead of the mask. And then there's this version, which is the season 2 version when he first got his mask. So, which was given to him by Barry Allen when Barry was introduced, when Grant Gustin as Barry Allen was introduced into Arrow. Okay, I'm going too deep with this. Anyway, so he looks fantastic. He looks great. There's the full dip on the head sculpt. You can move the hood back. It's a little difficult, but if you can manage it, you can move it back. It is a little difficult, though. All right, there we go. I should do that off camera, but you can move the hood back. You can see he has a full set of hair. So you see his little hoodie there. You can see his hair. Get a little side profile there. You see his beard now, his full beard. You can see his head. You can see his hair. His hair is sculpted very nice, looks very good. And it does look like Stephen Amell's hair. It does. So, on to the details of the costume. Looks really great. This is nicely sculpted and painted. It's nicely painted. You see wrinkles, the sleeves. You see the design here, which is really awesome. His gloves, this little pouch here with his extra arrows, the belt, his little strap here to hold his arrows in, which I'm going to get to that in a second. You got the little arrow design on the back. You got more arrow action going down there. Not that way, you little freaks. I'm just kidding. He also got, I think, like these little different kind of small pouch arrows, like some of them are poison arrows, or just, arrows that he's just flicking at his enemies real fast, instead of just pulling out his bow. So that looks really awesome, and it's also detailed and painted, which is excellent. You got his little straps there. It's painted very nicely. It looks very good. It looks very, very, very good. You got the green design here going down all throughout, just like the show. They did excellent. DC Collectibles killed it. This is excellent. See how the design goes all the way around. But for those of you who watch the TV show, you know that this is identical. This is exactly how he looked on the show. And he also got his little sneakers or boots, whatever you want to call it. They look like sneaker boots. That's what I'm calling it. And he got the green soles on the bottom, which is really cool. I always love that. So that's really awesome. Yeah. So this is a very awesome figure. So we're going to take a look at Mr. Arrow's accessories. All right. So first up, we have his bow. And his bow is done beautifully. The design. This is when he got this bow near the end of season 2. Wait, oh, wasn't it the end of season 1? I don't know. Need to rewatch it, which I already started. But this is very nice. This is very nice. Look at the detail. Look at the detail on the bow. That is awesome. That is awesome sauce. I love it. I absolutely love it. Nice paint, coloring. And also his bow. Yes, his bow can actually pull back. Yes, it can. It's a string. This is really awesome. This is really, look at all that detail. All that detail work they did in there. They didn't have to do that. They went the extra mile. You know what I mean? They could have just made a plastic bow with no string or just a fake plastic string, and they could have called it Jack. But the fact that they put in effort where he can pull back the bow, that is just awesome sauce. And also we have his arrow here with the multicolors in it, as you can see, just like the show. And also his arrow has a green tip, just like the show, and the little design in there that you can see. It's just awesome. It's outstanding. So he comes with 2 of those. Then he comes with this. This is like a set of arrows that's all bunched up. You can't separate them or anything. They're definitely glued in. But you see they once again painted all the arrows, which is awesome. So the purpose of this is you have to stick this in his back and it clicks. So once you hear that clicking sound, you know, oh, well, okay, I guess it doesn't click. Well, it doesn't come out, right? Kind of, unless I'm doing it wrong. Unless I'm doing something wrong. Well, anyway, that goes in his back. Then he can hold his bow. I probably got to do that off camera because that might be a little difficult. So there's Oliver with bow in hand, the arrows in his quiver, and an arrow between his fingers. So you just kind of place the arrow between his fingers there, and you can do, well, you can do a better pose than me because this isn't really the best pose. It's really extremely difficult for me, so I just did the best I could. But yeah, just the fact that you can do this though is really cool. Let me see if I could try to push the bow back a little bit, if I can get that to work. Let's see. Okay, so I pulled the bow back. I pulled the string on the bow back between his fingers a little bit. I think it looks a little better. I think I did a little better. I still could have did better, but I think it looks all right. So I am going to get into his articulation. So for articulation, so I had to put the hood down because it was getting in the way. He can move to the left, to the right. He does have attitude. He has some pretty good tilt there. He can look, he can't really look back. He can look down slightly. Pull the hood back down. Yeah, so his arms can go out about that much. This arm goes higher than this one for some weird reason. And his arms can do full 360 swivel, a single swivel joint in the elbow, no upper bicep swivel, full wrist and hinge rotation. I don't think that there's a butterfly joint here, especially with DC collectibles. No, that would be a no. You do have pivoting here in the waist and the upper torso, and you can get it to rotate. You can move it back. You can move it forward slightly, and it can twist left and right, but you can't swivel it all the way around because his quiver is wrapped around his body, and you will snap this, and I'm not going to do that. So nothing in the lower waist. He can split out about that much. He can kick barely. How about this leg? Ooh, this leg either at all. So he can only kick that much. That sucks. He can't really kick back at all. No upper thigh cut, but he does have a swivel in his knee that goes all the way around, and it does bend. There's a single joint bend in the knee. The boot has a swivel as well, full 360. The foot has a hinge down and up and slight ankle pivot. Pretty good, pretty good. So I'm satisfied with the articulation for Mr. Stephen Amell's Arrow here. I am satisfied with it. It works for me. It's fine. It might not work for you, but damn it, it works for me. So let's get into some of the characters in Arrow. Yes, yes, yes. So I had to do this, guys. I had to do it real quick. Had to do this. So I had to just do a quick customization. So I customized him real quick to pop the Stephen Amell head on. And he looks fantastic. He looks fantastic. I mean, look at these two head sculpts. Don't they look like the same person? Or at least close to it? That is awesome sauce. That is awesome sauce. So I'm just so happy right now. So happy. Yes, yes, this works, baby. This works. And so as for Arrow characters, we have his right-hand man, Diggle. And we got his arch nemesis, enemy / frenemy, I guess, Malcolm Merlin. Because him and Malcolm been through some crazy shit in the series, to say the least. They both have been through some shit. They both have. So, yeah. So that is the characters I have so far in relation to Arrow. And also, I just wanted to show off that I created a custom suited Malcolm Merlin. Yes, he's shorter, but this was the only thing I can find that was compatible. And also, you see, I customized a Secret Files Clark Kent Superman body for Stephen Amell. For Oliver Queen being in a suited body. So that's my custom job there. Just wanted to show that off a little bit. And of course, we get to Stephen Amell with his shirt off. And that's the version of him when he was on the island. Or you could say that's the version of him when he came back from the island, but he's just, you know, taking his shirt off and just practicing with his bow and arrow, or he's working out or whatever, you know. So that's just pretty cool as well. And also, I wanted to show off his tattoo in the back because it is accurate to the show. Gotta give it to them. DC Collectibles really killed it. They really did their homework. They really killed it. They nailed it. They did what they were supposed to do. And yeah, so awesome. Just awesome sauce. And here are the two arrows that I own side by side. These are the only two. And it's, like I said, it's like night and day. The arrow on the right is from season 4 when he officially became the Green Arrow. It was season 4, which a lot of people hate season 4. I like a couple of episodes in season 4, but yeah, season 4 was a disaster. And this is when he decided to go sleeveless, which was ridiculous. And then Stephen Amell had to admit that it was freezing in Vancouver when he was filming. So they had to put the long sleeves back on him. But I think season 5 and 6, his suit was better. They kept improving it and his suit got better. But I'm always going to love season 1 and season 2 suit. That's always going to be my favorite suit for Arrow. But yeah, the head sculpts are like night and day. And if you were wondering, yes, you can pull his hood back as well and see his hair. But his hair doesn't look anything like Stephen Amell, and neither does his face, as you can see. That looks nothing like Stephen Amell. Unlike this face, it looks like Stephen Amell. Or, you know, it's something close to it. So there you go for that comparison. All right, so here we go. So we got season 1 Barry Allen, Grant Gustin, and we got season 2 Barry Allen, Grant Gustin. So that Barry Allen unmasked head comes with the season 2 Flash, but I just customized him and put him on this body because I thought it'd be pretty cool. So yeah, this is awesome. And so they're both Barry Allens right there. Season 1 Flash with his mask on, which I think season 1 Flash with his mask on looks better than season 2 Flash with his mask on. Just my opinion. So yeah, Arrow kicked off the Arrowverse by introducing Grant Gustin, Barry Allen, Flash on Arrow. That's where he debuted. And then he spun off into his own series, The Flash, which is another awesome show, but fell off the wagon just like Arrow and just like all other CW shows. They started out high and then they just dropped real low. All right, so I think I covered everything in this review. Sorry for it being so long. It's almost 20 minutes. But yeah, I really love this figure. It is great. It is outstanding. I'm going to give him a solid 8.5 out of 10. I want to give him higher. I want to give him a 9 or a 9.5 or a 10. But this figure doesn't hit everything for me, but for the most part, it hits what I want from it. It's a very solid figure. It represents Stephen Amell very wonderfully. It's very accurate to the source material, to the show. You can put the bow in his hand. It is a little difficult getting in there, though. You have to open his hand up to put the bow in, which that can kind of get annoying. But I'm glad that he can grip the bow real good, because my other Arrow figure, it just falls out of his hand, and it's annoying. But he grips his bow really good. It doesn't fall out. He also could put the arrow between his fingers. So did the other Arrow figure that I have. He doesn't come with interchangeable hands. That's a little disappointing. No fisted hands, no other gripping hands. He just comes with what he comes with. These are the hands he comes with that's on his body. The paint is really good. The sculpting is really good. It's solid. It's a very, very solid figure. I love the bow. Although you do have to be extremely careful with the bow because it can break. Because on my other Arrow figure, I'll show you, my bow broke. It broke, and I had to tape it, glue it. So don't be rough with it. You got to be careful. Yeah, 8.5. He's a really solid figure. I love the Arrow TV show. It definitely had highs. It definitely had a lot of lows. More highs than lows, that's debatable. But the action was always good. The storyline was good in the first 2 seasons, but the rest of the seasons, the storyline was just trash. Probably except for when Prometheus came. I think that was when it was good, but he still had this stupid Team Arrow thing going on, and that was just, what you gonna do? All the DC TV CW shows did that. Team Arrow, then it was Team Flash, then it was Team Supergirl. It was just teams. The only show didn't do that is Superman and Lois, but I'm still not fully caught up on Superman and Lois. So I don't know if it's going to be Team Superman eventually, but for the most part, it's just Superman and Steel, which is pretty awesome. I don't mind that. But I mean, the CW shows were good, and Arrow broke the mold. Arrow changed things. And when the show first got announced, I wasn't interested. I was not going to watch it. And boy, would I have made a huge mistake, because once I watched season 1, because my mother-in-law, she recommended me to watch it. Now, those of you who have been following my channel, y'all know how much I love superheroes. I love all things superheroes. But Green Arrow was never a character that I was interested in. And then when they announced this Arrow show, I was like, Arrow? And I thought Justin Hartley, for those of you who don't know who Justin Hartley is, he was on Smallville with Tom Welling. And for those of you who don't know who Smallville is, and I don't know what to tell you. It was a pre-Superman show. That's the best way I could describe it. But Justin Hartley played Green Arrow, and I actually liked him. It was, I don't want to say it was a goofy version, but it was a in-between version. I mean, he didn't really crack. I mean, he cracked jokes here and there, but he wasn't the Oliver from the comic books either. He was just a different version. But I did like him. I liked the version that he played of Green Arrow. So when they announced the Arrow show was coming out, I thought it was going to be him. Now, little did I know, I recently found out that CW wanted to hire him to play Green Arrow, but he said no. He turned it down. And then in came Stephen Amell. And boy, it must have been fate, because I have to say, once I saw that first pilot episode of Arrow with Stephen Amell, I was blown away. And I was hooked immediately. So I've rambled long enough. That's my story of Arrow. I give this figure an 8.5 out of 10. And he is worth a pickup. And you can pick him up easily on eBay. I got this brand new in a box for like $20-something. So, you can find him. You can pick him up. I think he's worth a pickup if you're a fan of the show, of course. If you're just a fan of Green Arrow, period. But this is not comic book Green Arrow. So I would say if you want this figure, you have to be a fan of the show. Maybe I convince some of you to watch the show. Watch season 1 and season 2, but don't watch the rest of the seasons because it gets bad. But yeah, that's it. So you have failed this city. Till next time, guys. See ya.